All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem Rekah Kwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom and salute to the hopeful elect. All right, so this came to my mind, so I said, let me go ahead and fire this one up. It's a quick question for you Christians if you are able to see this video. Or you Israelites everybody can be saved, Israelites, what's the point of being an Israelite if everybody can be saved? I mean, really? You Christians, if everybody can be saved, what was the point of this? Why did, and we still, for the past, several hundred years, which is what, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, from the northern tribe all the way down to the southern tribe, why have we been catching hell? If everybody can be saved, wouldn't everybody would be catching hell? There wouldn't be so who's the wicked then? Who's running this? So the people that's causing all of this, right? This turmoil, the rulers of this society, they could be saved too? You mean to tell me the Pharaoh, right? The Egyptians from way back when, which everything is reincarnated, they're here now. You mean to tell me in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be side by side, laughing and drinking and giving in marriage, which we will be marrying the other nations' women, mind you, in the kingdom, us Israelites. But if everybody can be saved, or if everybody is going to have a part in this, the kingdom coming, why are we still catching hell? Why the hell? What was the purpose of this transatlantic slave trade? What was the purpose of Jim Crow? What was the purpose of these people really destroying us and horrifying our lives? What is the purpose? Why didn't they suffer? Why did the children of Israel always went into captivity? Why didn't the Lord put any other nation into captivity? Huh? But you can't answer that. You know why? Because you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You Christians, all of you, you learning as you go. You never picked up the Bible and read all these scriptures that you're bringing out if it wasn't for the Hebrew Israelites, particularly GMS, Great Millstone. You never would have read out these scriptures. Now you're picking up the Bible, trying to cut us with scriptures you never read. You know? It's mind-blowing. You know, but that gets to give us, things to defend and talk about, But that's my question. Like, why? What was the purpose? Why didn't the Lord ever put any of these nations into captivity other than the children of Israel? That's my thing. Why? Let me get a video, because I was watching this 1-year-old had got this 1-year-old had got unalived by the police. A devil killed him. I'm not going to go throughout the whole particular events that happened within this matter, but it happened. Whether, the Eve that was in a situation, whether they was right or wrong or whatever. The shit happened. The 1-year-old died. Who unalived him? Esau, a so-called white man, a cop. They still don't have any regard. They disregard our lives. You could be getting in the car with so what? They say she was accused of Pampers. Then later on they found out that she didn't pay for the Pampers. And this, that, the third. And if you see it goes against policies to shoot at moving cars anyway, because you can easily hit an innocent person, which you did in this matter. But we still living in a society where this is still happening. 1-year-olds being gunned down by the police. But everybody can be saved. Let me go to this. I was watching Taylor House Publishing, right? and he come out with some good videos. I always cover his channel so everybody can be saved, but this is still happening. Straight up Edomite supremacists can be saved. Let me play a little. I'm gonna play a little bit of his video and fair use. You know, I'm not making any monetary gains, just for edification purposes, brother. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of this for you Christians, that everybody can be saved. You want to share the kingdom with these people, you Israelites, you Christian, you coon niggas, because you're going to be destroyed. The Lord, when the Lord come back, and he's a so-called black man, and you see him, and you like, damn, I've been worshiping a Edomite or a white man all this time. You think he ain't gonna know that? How you think he gonna fail? Because the Lord does get jealous. You know he's gonna be jealous of you worshiping that damn devil, especially a lot of you black women. You love the white man so much, Esau. You think the Lord ain't gonna be jealous? You know that body count go, because it's more Israelite women than it is men. So you sitting up there, you know, worshiping the so-called white man and putting him in the place of, you know, Yahweh Shai, which is so-called black. You don't think he's gonna be angry with you? And your life is in his hands? Yeah, Yahweh Shai gonna do a lot of destroying, man, a lot of destruction. And I know he can't wait. But let me go ahead and play this video for a minute. A lot of you coons too. You niggas ain't, you know, we always get on the dudes though. But you coons, the Lord gonna destroy a lot of you sambos, man. It's just gonna be, hey, I'm gonna get the scripture in a minute.
So you see a pink boy with an angry face, and he has a young brown brother in a sleeper hole. Now, this is the first of 3 videos that I'm going to show you in which it is some sort of bonfire type deal where all of these children are out there, and then they decide to target this young brown brother. Now, he looks like the only brown person in the group, which should serve as a warning to all the young people out here, North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever you're from, about being in these groups where you are the only brown person.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, because when I was young, my, you know how Jake is, one side of your family may have a little bit of money, so they kind of move away. Can't blame them, but don't be sending your kids to an all-white school. You know what I mean? That's just setting them up to be bullied. My cousin, he was living out in the county, in a real nice area. My aunt, my aunt and uncle, they had some money, and he was very wealthy. Like he went to one of those schools, and he got picked on, you know. So this what happens when Jake, you know, move out. You know what I mean? But that's just a suggestion if you can, because you're setting your kid up for failure. You know, that's what happened. Partially, really, what happened with the Carmelo Anthony incident. You know, he was being they don't say it, but he was. Come on, now we all know he was being bullied. Hence the reason why he had that poker, and he defended himself. But now you give the young Jake, you can't even defend yourself in Esau society, you know? But let me go ahead and play this. Finish playing this.
Sooner or later, that deep ancestral hatred will come out. Just watch this video and I'll...
Oh, and another thing too, Salaki, for keep pausing the video. These are kids. These ain't no 20-year-olds, no 30-year-olds, no 40-year-olds, or 50-year-olds. These are teenagers. So reincarnation is real. These devils probably been doing that in their past life. Where you think they inherited from? They inherited, you know, it's a natural hate but most likely their parents is teaching them this racism. Their grandparents is teaching them this, and a lot of it is still within them. You know.
Be back with some commentary on it. And I'm gonna just interject right here. I'm gonna have to blur the video because the attack is so egregious, but I will put the Facebook post in the comment that highlights these actions.
Let him go. Put him to sleep. Let him go. Put him to sleep. Put him to sleep. Don't let go.
I'm laughing, cheering him on, recording, and you see the young brother's eyes roll back in his head after almost being choked to death. But that's not it. There's more. Just watch. And I had to play that one twice because if you see, that is the pink female striking the young man. The same pink female who stood over Ashton, it looks like, and said, "Let him go." But this is the cowardly nature of the pink race. One guy shows a bottle with a weapon. He said, "What do you got there?" That's a weapon. And then the girl sucker punches the young brother. And after she does that, then another pink punk person comes and then tries to assault him while he's off guard. That is the gang mentality. That is the same mindset that would allow a group of pink people to go down to the courthouse and drag a brown person out and string them up. This is that innate nature. Energy is never...
Yeah, a lot of them are fucking cowards, man. They only do stuff like this when they're in a bunch. You know what I mean? But that they just cowards. You know, they never stand on their own. They only can be, you know, carry out this this fallacy that they're tough and all that. Man, Esau is a weak punk, man. And I'll be listening to who'll be making a good point, some great points. Sergeant Willie Pete. Now he goes off completely, but he does bring up some. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me go to this. Yeah, this is his video right here. He goes into it. I got to get his book on. He was showing how these dudes are cowards, man. But Sergeant Willie Pete, like this video right here. Check that out. He be going into the white supremacy thing and all that. He goes into it because I believe he's a big guy. Sergeant Willie Pete is a big guy, but I believe he grew up in sort of like I ain't saying that he got bullied and all that. I doubt that, but he been around. He said that he been around, you know, white people and all that, and but he breaks it down. He be breaking it down. These he goes into it, man. The psychological part about it. Here it is. The one of his books is the Black Matriarchy, and here it is. I got a friend that's listening to this one. It's saying, understand. It says understanding white supremacy. So I gotta either purchase that book or read it, you know, and just get the meat out of, you know, what you can pick out of, you know, because you know, we ain't saying you can't learn from, you know, other individuals, because some of these guys they you know, they know their thing, you know. But without further ado, I'll go ahead and get the scriptures. All right, this is Isaiah. Since everybody can be saved, and I know I've been all over the place, you know. Sort of, I might title this video various topics. All right, but this is Isaiah 63. I'll start at 1 for you Christians and all everybody that want to say that the so-called white man can be saved, the other nations, because they only worried about the white man. They ain't worried about the Asian, the African man, which the Hamite, Moab, Ammon, the Asian, Chinese, and Japanese, Japhet, the Hawaiian, Pacific Island, Australian, and those are various Arab, Ishmael. They ain't worried about them. They only worried about the so-called white man. But this is Isaiah 63 and 1. I'll start at 1. It says, God's vengeance on the nations. All right, it says, who is that cometh from Edom? What is Edom? The name for ancient dwelling, the original dwelling place of the so-called white man, Esau. It says, with thy garments from Basra. What is Basra? An ancient city in Edom. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Where art thou red in thine apparel? Are thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? God damn. So what's that saying? That represents death. That represents destruction. That's how many people the Lord gonna kill. But everybody can be saved. All right, whatever. It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people that were none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is mine, is in mine heart, and the year of my redeeming is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation upon me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drink in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. See? So that's how the Lord is going to take out so many people, man. It's going to be, you can't even really explain it. That's how bad it's going to be. Let's get the, all right, this is Zephaniah 1. I'll start at 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloomness, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fit cities and against the high towers. It says, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in that day of the Lord's wrath. The whole land shall be divided by fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And that's talking about America. This place is going to be flatlined. It's going to be burnt to crisp, to smithereens, man. But keep the faith, brothers. this was sort of like various topics. I went into a lot of things, but it's mainly about these Christians, man. They watching our videos, but now they reading up on the scriptures, and some of them are waking up, you know. So some Christians are, some people are part of the elect. That's probably within those organizations and everything. So yeah. So hey, I hope this was edifying to the body. Till again, shalom.